Wow, it's been 10 years since The Force Awakens came out. What a nostalgia trip. I remember being in line to see this movie, a line out the door. And while it's not my favorite Star Wars movie, it does hold a lot of nostalgia for me. So I thought, for 10 years' sake celebration, I would talk a little bit about my favorite character from the movie, Kylo Ren. From the moment we meet Kylo Ren, he just establishes himself as someone that is in control and domineering. And he is just menacing. And I think he's a great villain to start out. They establish him out very well. He's very intimidating. His voice is very deep. And this right here, this is one of my favorite Force abilities in the whole entire series. So from the get-go, he establishes himself as a dominating, ruthless villain, and shortly after this scene, he actually orders all the villagers to be killed. Very, very impactful intro. From there, we jump to the mind control scene. I love this scene. Kylo Ren exudes creepiness and evilness over the room as he approaches Poe Dameron. He forces his way into his mind with the Force. And this is a guy that, you can just feel the evil prying into you. You stare into those eyes. In my opinion, this scene is very hard to watch just because it looks so painful for Poe Dameron and terrifying. So for this next scene, it may be a bit of an unpopular opinion, but I do think this scene really does hammer home, Kylo Ren's just explosiveness and, why you need to worry. Because at any moment, the littlest things could push him and he could become murderous. And again, I think it's intimidating. Not many people... Something else I would like to mention, Kylo Ren exudes intimidation and dominance, and he's doing it because he wants to be like Darth Vader. But he doesn't need to be like Darth Vader because he's already like Darth Vader. The fact that he's so focused on this, but I think it more so hammers his mental state. He wants to be like this dark, brooding Sith Lord. He wants to be intimidating, but he already is. He doesn't need to want to be any of these things. He just does it naturally. He wants to exude control and dominance, and this is everything a good villain should need in Star Wars. I'll be getting into the next scene here in just a second, but, Kylo Ren so far, at this point in the film, is easily the best character in my opinion. The next scene, really, I feel like hammers home just how evil this guy is. The Starkiller base laser fires, destroying millions of lives, and Kylo Ren just stands there overlooking his work. He seems to almost proudly overlook this destruction, and he loves this role that he has embraced as enslaver of the galaxy. So as the movie progresses, and he changes, and the movie tries to make us feel bad for him, I don't understand it. So far, this is a man who has ordered a village to be slaughtered, forced his way into the mind of an innocent person using the Force. Now he has committed mass genocide, overlooking in glee as it happens with several planets. This is an evil character. What a great villain so far. And the next scene I'm going to show, Kylo Ren stalks Rey, almost as if he's toying with her. If you listen closely, you can hear his lightsaber going off in the forest. It's almost as if he's like trying to instill fear into her. And he loves it. And, it's creepy. It's disturbing. So this to me is another quality that makes a great villain. And then he corners her and he just traps her. This is a great character so far. Star Wars really nailed it so far to this point with this character. And I just don't know what went wrong with the subsequent 2 movies afterwards. There's a lot wrong with this movie, but I'll save that for another video. But Kylo Ren just corners her. And then he eventually takes her aboard his ship, as you all know. And then that's, in my opinion, when things start to go downhill. So from there, Kylo Ren takes off his mask. And instead of, it loses its mysticism when he takes his mask off to me. He becomes human. He looks like a kid. And the next scene I'm about to show, we see Kylo Ren without his mask. And you know, it's disturbing.
Stronger than she knows.
This is not the dominating and controlling dark force user we've gotten used to in the rest of the movie. This looks like a scared child in a suit of armor. It's disappointing, frankly. And, you know, you wish he didn't take off the mask because, you know, he never seemed like he was scared in the other events of the movie. He doesn't seem scared at all. In fact, he feels like he's in control. He has ultimate power. And he can decimate and dominate everybody. And to find out he's just a scared kid under that mask is kind of a letdown, in my opinion. You know, they hyped him up so much. He was so villainous and so intimidating. And this is what we get. And next we have this scene. You guys already know what this scene is, what happens. This enrages many fans because of what happens to Han Solo. I'm conflicted with this because it tries to again humanize Kylo Ren. And, you know, I think they do dive deeper into the complexities of his character.
Yes.
You know, he is angry. He is malicious. He is hateful. But he's still struggling with it. But there was no indication of a struggle earlier in the film. However, what he does to his own father, he lies to him and asks for help, and he murders him, is one of the most deplorable acts in the entire saga of Star Wars. And I think it does cement him as a great villain in this moment overall. It's just, they go too far in trying to humanize him and make you feel bad for him. There is no feeling bad for this man. He is a villain. He is a terrible person. You know, you're not supposed to feel bad for a villain. You know, I mean, he is an evil character, and they try to humanize him, I guess, is the biggest problem I have towards the latter half of the film. They try to make you sympathize with him because he's scared. But there's just no sympathizing with this guy. He's a villain. He's a terrible person and a story. So when you see him acting as an enraged kid with emotions, it just doesn't sit well with me. You know, he has these emotions, but it seems more angsty towards the end of the film rather than angry and hateful. It just seems kind of just childlike, like he's throwing a temper tantrum. I will go ahead and show the last. So I would say this scene bothers me the most. I'll try to keep it short because I can make a whole video about it. This really takes me out of the charm and villainy of Kylo Ren. He is exuded this evilness and this powerfulness all movie long. And he gets his butt kicked by an untrained scavenger who has no inklings of the Force at all. To summarize, this was a great villain with great potential, and I feel like it was ruined by bad writing. What do you guys think? Sound off in the comments your thoughts about The Force Awakens and Kylo Ren. Be sure to like, follow, and share for more. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.